Hi everyone and welcome to Foodie Fridays. Today we're going to make the super delicious, super easy to make, and super fun hot cocoa bomb. So hot cocoa bombs are all over the internet right now. They look difficult to do, but they're actually pretty easy to make, and they're a great addition to slumber party, a date night, or just chilling by yourself at home. And so here's what you're going to need to get started. So to make a basic hot cocoa bomb, all you're really going to need is a microwave safe bowl. You're going to need some chocolate. Try to get blocks of chocolate and not chocolate chips because they just melt more evenly. Little mini marshmallows, some hot cocoa mix, and your silicone molds. Now these molds I got off of Amazon and they're pretty cheap. These are smaller, which means they fit in more mugs. And you're probably going to need maybe about at least 2, or you're going to be waiting a long time for your chocolate bombs. So first thing we got to do is we need to pop up this chocolate. And we're back. So I just cut up my chocolate. I just chopped it up kind of in sort of even pieces. I put it in my microwave safe bowl and let's go melt it. So now it's done. We give it a little stir. And it may look like nothing has happened, and you'll be going, why? But you just keep going into bursts of 10 to 15 seconds and keep stirring in between, and it should melt. So I'll be back soon. Okay, so that took way more tries than I remember it ever taking, but now we have our melted chocolate. Yay! So you want to make sure it's nice and smooth, doesn't have a bunch of lumps in it. Next, you're going to be taking your silicone molds, and you're going to be taking a spoon. They say, there are people out there who say use a brush, but I prefer a spoon because it's just easier to spread. And let's face it, some of us aren't that artistic, you know? So you just take a spoonful of chocolate, you drizzle it in there, and you take the back of your spoon to help spread it up the sides, and you make sure the sides are kind of nice and even. And just remember that you're going to be doing this a couple times because you're going to want to get a nice kind of even layer. So don't get discouraged if you feel like it's not working out the first time, because you can just do another layer. And I mean, isn't that what life's all about? Just try again if it doesn't work the first time. So what I like about these is that they're a little time consuming, honestly, but at the same time, they're not that hard to make. You can get all this stuff from your grocery store and Amazon, and you can definitely make them with your kids. Kids love these. I made these for some of my friends' kids, and they absolutely just adore them. It's just the kids, it's fun for all ages, really, because it's the theatrics of all of it, because we're going to be filling this with hot cocoa powder and marshmallows and some other goodies. I'm going to give you all options. You want to move kind of fast because the chocolate does sort of harden kind of quickly sometimes. But in my experience, if the chocolate hardens, just melt it again. It's really not that big of a deal. I've just remelted chocolate and I personally haven't had any problems with it. So I apologize in advance if that turns out to be not the right information, but you know, I'm just doing what I can over here. So now that we have the first layer done, we're going to go and pop these in the fridge, and then we're going to wait about 5 minutes, and we're going to come back and see what they look like. So it'll take some practice to be able to kind of figure out the sweet spot, and I'm still learning what the sweet spot is on what's too thick and too thin. But you just keep doing it and keep practicing and you'll get it. I believe in you. So I brought you guys over to my stove now, and I've just been heating up a pan on really low heat so we can actually turn that off because you don't need a super hot pan for this next part. And here are hardened shells. I don't know if you guys can see that, but they don't look that great on the inside, but that's the inside, so don't worry about it. It's gonna look super good on the outside, I promise. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to, the way I figured out how to do this is you kind of pull the silicone apart just a little bit. Just gently pull it apart so that you're able to kind of get some air into the sides, so the sides will break apart, and then you don't have to try to, you know, punch them out of there. So we're gonna take 2 right now. I pop out the first one. See, look how shiny it is. So you get your hot cocoa mix and you get your mini marshmallows. And what you're gonna wanna do is you take 1/2 of it and you put it in your pan, and it's really, really quick. That's all it takes, just a couple seconds. And then you take a little spoonful of your hot cocoa mix and put it into the half shell. And then you take some marshmallows, because who doesn't love marshmallows? Adds a little pizzazz. And you're gonna take your second half really quick, swirl it around, make sure you get kind of a nice flat, and then you press them together. And sometimes if you want to make it a little bit cleaner, you can take the back of a spoon and kind of wipe it around the sides to kind of help smooth them down. But you see how all it takes is just a couple seconds. If you leave it on for too long, then you have squatty little domes, and then they aren't as cute. And then for you legal adults out there, you can add booze. Mwah. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making some boozy hot cocoa bombs. Okay, so I heated up some almond milk to try the schnapps one. I have heated up some wine to try the mulled wine one. And I have heated up some water to try the Bailey's Irish coffee one. So here we go. Okay, so I gave these guys some time to hang out, get to know each other, become friends, and let's do a taste test. First up, Irish coffee. Oh, it's hot. Oh no. Okay. So I already knew that I liked Irish coffees, but the Bailey's really comes through despite not having a whole lot of it. And the instant coffee really kind of gives it that nice coffee flavor. Next up, let's try this mulled wine. So I can smell the spices in it, so I'm a little excited. So the mulled wine one is also pretty good. What I enjoyed about it was that the instant that I poured the warm wine on it, the whole shell just started going. And I think if I actually had a cinnamon stick or something, or you have some kind of dried fruit or like little dried orange slices or something to throw in there, it could really add some spice and be a fun, festive sort of thing to have at your next cocktail party. Now lastly is this oh god, is this peppermint schnapps one. And why not? Let's do it. Bottoms up. I hate to say it, it might need more schnapps. So with that, I want to thank you guys for joining me for my Foodie Friday. I'm going to try and be doing this every Friday, so make sure to leave a comment down below to let me know what kind of food you want me to try next. It can be baking, it can be a meal, it can be maybe even a take on a internet trend like the hot cocoa bomb. And with that, hope you guys have a happy Friday, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye. I'm gonna keep drinking this. Let's take this too. And I'll take this too. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. What's a Friday without a drink, you know? Excuse me. Goodbye.